On this episode of Edge of the Web.
Let's say you test a copy and you test different variations of a copy, and just finding out what resonates with that specific target audience, you can take that exact copy and implement it on your landing page.
Your weekly digital marketing trends with industry trend-setting guests. You're listening and watching Edge of the Web. Winners of Best Podcast from the Content Marketing Institute for 2017. Hear and see more at edgeofthewebradio.com. Now, alongside Tom Broadbeck, here's your host, Aaron Sparks.
So we always thank everybody for listening in and joining us on our live stream here at Edge Media Studios in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Edge of the Web. Every week, we're bringing you the latest marketing trends as well as marketing innovators from around the planet. So we certainly want entreat you to come on board and be able to find out some great information in the digital marketing space. Check out all of our recent shows over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. Title sponsor of the show is Site Strategics, your agile marketing specialists in execution in the digital marketing space. So if you're interested in what agile marketing is and, more importantly, what it can do for you, give us a shout over at strategics.com or just simply Google agile marketing. You're going to be able to see us at the top of the list. I'm your host, Aaron Sparks. I'm the CEO of Site Strategics as well as Edge Media Studios. The reason that we do this show is twofold, actually. We focus on kind of demystifying and breaking down key concepts in digital marketing. There's so many things out there and so many things that are moving fast that we want to slow down, kind of unpack some key concepts and bring it to you, our audience. We're streaming regularly over on Facebook and Periscope. We're also delivering this content to all the different podcast aggregation platforms, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and all the others. If we're not where you are, certainly give us a call. Oh, I forgot. The second reason that we actually do this show is to make sure that we're educating ourselves in the digital marketing space. And since it's moving on a regular basis, the only way to really catch up and be right there in the moment when things are changing is really disciplining yourself to digest this content and also be able to deliver it to you. So it's a bit self-serving, but nonetheless, it's very, very enjoyable. So we thank everybody for listening. In the booth today is Thomas Broadbeck, the Director of Digital Media. Sir, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We also have a very special guest from around the world in Slovenia. It's Mojca Zove. Mojca, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
We're very honored to have you here, and really appreciate the synchronizing of our time zones to get you. So, okay, I said I was going to try it.
Here we go.
Lavoisa. No, crap.
Lulajana.
Okay,
right?
That was quite good, yeah. Do I get the bet now, though?
Yeah, you do. It fell out of my head as soon as we started recording. Okay, Moyca, where are you? What city in Slovenia?
So it's called Ljubljana. It's the capital of Slovenia, although very small, because the whole Slovenia is very small. But yeah, enjoying it here in Slovenia. Lovely weather today. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, like I said, we do bring marketing influencers from around the planet, and this is certainly an example of it. So we certainly appreciate you joining us. We got a few news stories that we'd like to cover with you. Ready to go? Some deep diving into some news, Moyca?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's take you through the latest digital marketing news.
I was very excited to start my reportings.
This week's trending topics.
All right, starting at the top here from Engadget, Twitter reportedly suspended 70 million fake accounts in May and June. June comes from David Lum. Tom, take us through this story. What's going on there? I heard about it, but 70 million?
Yeah, the purge has begun, and they've suspended, according to this article. This was about a week ago or so, but they suspended about 70 million accounts in May and June.
Wow.
To reduce the impact of misinformation. We're doubling the rate of social media platforms suspending back in October. The aggressive purges were already alarming to some users. In February, it was accused of wiping out bots, or assured that it was wiping out bots and not silencing conservatives. But the company has also taken the opportunity to liquidate retweet spamming accounts in order to promote more genuine interaction. Yeah, the purge has begun. I saw everybody, at least some of the larger accounts I was following, were updating their users on how many bots they lost and how many followers they lost in the purge. And there's accounts, there's tools out there now. You can see how many Twitter followers you lost. And
oh, wow. So it's a bit of a shake-off of what you thought you had as an audience. But have we heard anything about legitimate accounts that got struck down by this purge?
I have not heard any outcry of this action. Most people seem to be in support of it, I think.
Yeah, we've always been in support of that from just the spam. I mean, it's just been rife with spam in that space.
Like, sure, it sounds cool to have X number of followers, but if so many of them are fake, how much big of an audience you really have, you know?
Right. And it harkens back to some of the Fiverr spam days as well, whenever you could buy for $5 20,000 or 30,000 followers. That was all fictionalized, but those days are gone. Finally, Moyca, what do you think about that?
Oh, I absolutely support Twitter's decision, and I think other social media channels should do the same. I know Instagram has the same exact problem, Facebook too. So I am glad that Twitter is making a step in that direction. As you said, those followers don't mean anything. They are not engaging with your content. It's just a number. Yep. So I'm glad that they made that decision and made the purge. So
creeps me out though. I mean, you know the Purge movies, right? I have that flash of all of a sudden. All digital marketing accounts get purged, and we're back to conventional marketing. God forbid. All right. So from marketing land, this is right up your alley, Moyca. New features in the Facebook Ads Manager app make building ads and on mobile very easy. This is from Amy Geston-Hughes. Go over there to marketing land. So the ad creation tool that's been around for I think maybe 8 months or something like that when we first started announcing it. And Moyca, you can certainly correct me. But the ad creation tool has 5 new features, including the ability to include overlays, stickers, logos, and more. Facebook just gave the advertisers more creative tools for building ads from their phones, literally from their phones via the Ads Manager app. When creating an ad on a mobile device, brands can now actually include text overlays, stickers, logos, and color filters. There's also an image cropper and a text policy checker that will alert the advertiser if the amount of copy in the ad exceeds Facebook advertising. So the point is that you're not building these ads from the desktop anymore. You're literally building them on the fly with your mobile phone. Boy, the lack of control in editing in the mobile space has always been a thing. But if they're making it so easy to edit this, overlay this, and then be able to check the ad for the integrity, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Have you tried it yet, Moyca?
No, I haven't, but I'm really excited to do so. I am always I found myself in this situation a lot where I'm on the road, I get an idea and I want to launch it right away. And our mobile phones are so powerful nowadays. Like, you can shoot amazing videos with your iPhone. So why wouldn't you be able to create great ads on your mobile phone as well? So whenever I'll get an idea now, I'll be able to implement that idea immediately through that tool. So I think it's amazing. That said, definitely bigger brands will still use, desktop design and so on. So it's not like, everything is going to go in that direction. But I love to have the ability of just edit my ads on the go, to be honest.
And this is, I think, a huge outreach to small, medium-sized businesses as well. Yeah, because they don't have maybe the Adobe platforms to really knock into a really good quality set of ads. But if it's already sanctioned by Facebook, yeah, it's not allowing that much creativity, but you can certainly grab it and push it out via the mobile.
Yeah, and there's tools out there that you can do a lot of this photo editing, cropping, and overlays. Adobe has Adobe Spark or something like that,
right?
That you can use, and so Facebook's just keeping people in their platform. So the only thing I could see kind of wrong with this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Moyca, is there still like a 20% rule of how much text you can have on an image? So I feel like this could throw off a lot of things if you think you've run an ad campaign, you don't check your phone for a little bit, and it doesn't pass that 20% rule.
Yeah, so Facebook changed that rule, I think, year and a half ago, you still have the 20% rule. That said, now if you have more than 20% of text on your image now, your ad won't get disapproved, but Facebook will decrease your reach. So your ad will still run, but with a decreased reach. Sometimes that can be good though. For example, I regularly launch like testimonial campaigns with my client where we have a lot of text on the image because it's a whole testimonial. And even though Facebook decreases our reach because of the text rule, our ads perform better than anything else that we've seen. So the 20% rule is still there with a bit of a twist, but it's good to play around with it a little bit from time to time.
So overall, this is a good tool to be able to capitalize and move ads more quickly, right? I guess, and I was right. The ad creator was around for a while, but it actually got merged with the ad manager back in September. So they pulled it together as a full-on tool set, right?
So they pulled together the Power Editor and the Ad Manager,
right?
Just to make it a more powerful tool. I was always wondering, when that will happen, because they had these two tools, both for creating ads and maintaining those two tools updated constantly.
Yep.
I think it was just a lot of effort and time on Facebook's end. So I'm glad that they kind of merged that two together, and now they're making it again a step in a different direction. So
excellent. Well, to again go further in the Facebook ad space. Facebook, from Marketing Land, Facebook is testing augmented reality ads in the news feed and new tool to help brands create video ads. Another article from Amy Gestenhuis. Facebook has actually been testing this for a while, and they're actually rolling out with a select number of brands, and says that it actually is expanding the ad product to more advertisers later this summer. Now, the augmented reality is still nebulous to me, but they're going at it, and Facebook is giving a select number of advertisers access to the augmented reality ads that run the news feed, and they're testing this new tool already used as part of Michael Kors ad campaign that allowed users to try on and purchase sunglasses. I saw that ad, and not that I was shopping for sunglasses, but I saw the news.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah. So literally, it can put the possible sunglasses, the product, on your Facebook image, and then literally you can test with a number of different brands in the fashion. They've been testing another number of different brands in the fashion industry now. Bringing the products into the space of your own personal images online, right? Because they're testing it with a person's Facebook profile or other images that are already loaded up into Facebook. Now, thinking about that, being able to also capture that connection of product to person and then remarket that same ad to that person. Do you remember this picture? Remember these sunglasses on your picture? I mean, what a connection of remarketing. Sure. They tried it on virtually, and then they're going to push it back over to you in remarketing ads. I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. I am so excited to get this feature because, again, I was wondering when that will happen. You have this, fancy camera app in Facebook where you can put different filters on, and it was just a question of time when they will make that available for advertisers to use, like to put the sunglasses on or different, clothes or anything like that. So really, really excited to get my hands on this feature.
Go.
So make a joke. My wife's still going to return the product anyway after trying it on. So.
Well, that's also honestly that's a risk as well. Is that instead of buying things online and not seeing how they look on you, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole nother space of returns, but more importantly, if you're trying it on, you're getting so close to putting it on, the eyeglasses, for example, putting them on and then taking them off at the store. You could actually lose business because you're offering so many options out there. There is this, I bought it, oh, I really didn't like it, but I don't want to waste the time sending it back, so I just ate it, right? Now you have this, I'm not going to buy it because I thought it looked good, but when I tried it on me virtually, it really didn't look good, so I'm not going to buy it. I mean, there's a risk there, isn't there?
It's a good point. It's a good point, definitely. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes. They're actually rolling it out to a number of companies, and Sephora, NYX Professional Makeup, Bobbi Brown, Pottery Barn, Wayfair, and King. That's a short list of brands that are actually using this AR ad technology. It's certainly interesting. I think on top of it, married with these type of ad creators, right? You're going to give this type of flexibility to the small, medium-sized businesses, and I think that's where a lot of business is going to be able to come from, where those small businesses haven't been able to reach audience with their variety of products. Now they can actually find them and provide such a interaction with their consumer base. I think that's a huge advantage.
And I think that's a good thing that Facebook is doing. I'm always telling not my clients, but my audience as well, like, Facebook is such a powerful tool, and it's getting even more powerful as we move forward. And you can take advantage of all of these features. So I would absolutely encourage everyone to try it out when this feature does come live to all of the other advertisers, which might take a while because it is an extremely powerful feature. But yeah, really excited for this.
Very cool. Well, you know what's also a powerful feature? It's our newsletter that gets sent out each and every week describing who we just talked to, some insights from our guests, as well as who we're going to be talking to in the future, and some of the news stories, just like we relayed to you in the show. So be sure to jump on to the newsletter. You can subscribe right there on your cell phone. Do not do it while you're driving. Text to the number 22828, the word Edge Talk, and you can begin your sign up right there free of charge. We won't use your email for anything else but sending digital marketing gold your way. So you can also sign up over at edgeofthewebradio.com right there at the header of the site. Certainly appreciate more and more feedback from our audience on the newsletter, because we're wanting to make sure that you're armed with the latest trends in the marketing tactics. So follow all our featured trending topics over at edgeofthewebradio.com. So let's deep dive with this week's featured guest.
Now it's time for Edge of the Web featured interview with Mojca Zove, founder of Super Spicy Media.
So our deep voice guy got it right. Mojca Zove, what a fantastic name, from Slovenia. Mojca, let's introduce you to our audience. Mojca is a founder of Super Spicy Media. That's an awesome name as well. That's...
Thank you.
Yeah, that's energy right there. She founded this in 2014. Mojca is a Facebook ads expert, author of the Facebook Ads Manual, and also an international speaker. Her work actually focuses on helping businesses generate more leads and increase profits with a professionally made Facebook advertising strategy, so they can actually devote more time to other aspects of their business. So that's the professional. That's the official introduction. So, Mojca, let us know your backstory. Where'd you come from, and how'd you get to Facebook ads?
Yeah, so I actually started as a copywriter at an advertising agency. So it was a typical advertising agency, very traditional one. We were working on newspaper ads and television ads and radio ads and so on. And I always wanted to do Facebook marketing and online marketing, because Facebook was just starting out back then. I think the feature, like the Facebook page feature, just got out, and I really wanted to try ourselves doing that because our clients were asking about it. So I wanted to push in that direction. It didn't go well because, as mentioned, they were very traditionally oriented, and they didn't want to hear about these fancy millennial stuff. So what ended up happening is I got fired from the agency. And that was kind of, I don't know, I just took that as my advantage and created my own business. And at first I started as a general social media strategist. So doing Twitter strategy, Facebook strategy, and just everything. And then about 2 years ago, I got more and more inquiries for Facebook ad strategy specifically. And that's when I decided to niche down a little bit and focus on Facebook ads and just do Facebook ads, become the best at Facebook ads. And that's what I did. And that's how everything got started.
That's a great story, and literally, I mean, taking advantage of. I mean, the best thing that could have happened to you was getting fired from the agency.
Kind of, yeah.
We kind of hear that more and more, Tom, and we've talked to a number of people that, a number of guests that had this one of the same stories, specializing in a very niche area of an overall marketing tactic, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to make a name for yourself. You know, you go niche and. People will find you. So, yeah. Great.
Fantastic. So we really want to unpack some of your niche. I'm pronouncing niche a whole different way than you guys are. You realize that? Is it niche? Niche?
Tomato.
I think the correct pronunciation is niche, but this is similar to like how do you pronounce GIF or GIF? So we can have this conversation for another hour if you want.
All right, everybody. GIF is peanut butter. GIF is graphic. Oh, I can't even remember the interlaced format. Right.
Graphic interlaced format.
There we go. Boy.
Here's from Google.
Yes.
Here's from Google.
Niche.
Niche. All right. Thank you, Google. All right, we're gonna kind of unpack this with Moyca, but I first want to turn around and recognize our title sponsor real quick. If you'd indulge me, Moyca, Site Strategics is the proud title sponsor of Edge of the Web Radio, and wanted to share with us listeners of the show a special offer. A lot of times we're asked inside of our digital marketing strategies. The return on investment of digital marketing, and pardon me, truly that's what you should be interested in from your marketing firm. Would you like to discover your marketing ROI? Why not have a second opinion to check out how your investment is paying off? We're actually offering a 30% reduction of rate off of our digital marketing ROI report. You can learn your digital strengths, weaknesses, and threats. It actually covers everything in the SEO space, content marketing, social media, allowing us to be able to really understand and get full insight into opportunities for your growth. So go on over to our site, edgeofthewebradio.com/ROI. Jump in there, and all you got to do is provide us some of your content information, and we'll have a conversation with you and see whether or not this report is really what you need to be able to get some insight into your own tactics, or potentially what your existing agency is doing for you. Well, it's just like a doctor's second opinion. So check that out over at edgeofthewebradio.com/ROI. Moyca, forgive us a little indulgence, but we had to jump in there. All right. So first topic that we want to bring in front of our audience. Obviously, this is all about Facebook ads, but we're really deep diving into this. You shared with us how you started your own Facebook advertising agency. Why specialize directly with Facebook ads? Not only for the niche, right, but also what's the payoff on Facebook ads in comparison to other social media platforms?
So when I was doing social media strategies in general, the number one problem that I had, and this might sound familiar to you, but I got asked a lot about what's the ROI of my Facebook page? What's the ROI of this Facebook page post that I just published? And it was a tough question to answer, specifically to small businesses who expect an immediate positive ROI from each post that they publish on their Facebook page. So it was very hard for me to explain to them the benefits of this long-term investment that you're making into your marketing. And everything got just a little bit easier with Facebook ads. So it was very black and white. It's still an investment. So there's still, with some strategies, you still don't get like an immediate ROI, but you can track things more. So you can track how many people click and how many people from this blog post signed up for a free trial for your software, for example.
Right.
So everything is more trackable. And I just enjoyed the technical aspect of Facebook advertising and creating Facebook ads and developing different funnels and leading people from the first engagement with a brand to the final purchase. So I really, really enjoyed that process. And that's how I actually decided to just stick to Facebook advertising.
No, I understand. And just in that platform alone, there's so many layers to creating an effective ad. And don't you see, I mean, as you inherit digital Facebook ad campaigns from other companies, don't you see it as very very superficial, some of the ads that they've run, and nowhere near the depth and dimension that you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's most of what I see whenever I, like you said, inherit a whole Facebook advertising campaign or account from a different agency. So working with a client who has previously worked with an agency. So that's the one thing that, like, Facebook can go so in depth, and not a lot of people take advantage of that. So yeah, that's where I came in.
So it does seem that you're, pardon me, working with a lot of larger organizations. Are you seeing that they're actually beginning to see the value of Facebook ads, or is and most of their marketing still in this traditional space?
I think definitely larger brands still in the traditional space. That said, they do like the trackability of Facebook advertising. Like I said, you can track like specific purchases.
Yep.
So and they love that aspect, because you don't get that with traditional advertising. You don't get that with TV ads, with radio ads. And that's the number one problem that I had back when I was working at the advertising agency. So I was always asking, like, how can we track the success of our campaign? And basically they said, yeah, well, we can't. And that's what I love about Facebook. And I think even big brands now are realizing that as they move forward. And a lot of them are not completely switching to digital advertising, but they are investing more and more in it. And
that investment, that wider investment, especially in Facebook ads, gives them the ability to kind of granularize their targets and really, like you're talking about, you can actually advertise to individuals based on the products that they saw, but on top of that, you can remarket to them continually to be able to get them back into that transaction, right?
Yeah, and we saw the Michael Kors example, for example.
Yeah.
So the sunglasses on TV, like you can feature a woman and a man, and she is wearing different glasses than he is, but it won't be, the ad won't specifically talk to one persona or to one avatar. Where on Facebook, you can do that because you can create one set of ads for women that are from 25 to 34, the 35-year-old. And then another set of ad for men, same age and based on location. So you can go really, really granular, which you cannot with traditional advertising.
No. Let me ask you this on the other side. Conversely, can you get so granular that you don't have steerage data?
Oh, absolutely. You can get too granular on Facebook too. So you have to maintain that healthy relationship between reaching enough people to get enough data out, but again, not overwhelming yourself and targeting audiences that are, I don't know, 60 million strong. So I've seen that with my clients ads as well. So when they came from a different agency, they were targeting audiences, like large audiences, a lot of demographic information, and those were like, the potential reach was 60 million people. Now that's not really effective, is it? So you can go too broad, you can go too narrow. So you have to hit that sweet spot.
Absolutely, and we certainly and treat all of our online watching guests to be able to our watchers to ask any questions of Moyca as we're talking about Facebook ads. But to double down on the larger organizations' use of Facebook ads now, and they're certainly starting to mature in that space. What type of goals or tactics that they're using could be different than a smaller company?
So I think when it comes to larger organizations, they do tend to invest a little bit of their budget towards brand awareness, which is something small businesses tend to not avoid, but they are not ready to invest in brand awareness before they figure out like a perfect sales funnel for a Facebook ad strategy. So what small businesses tend to invest into more is, like I said, a funnel and tracking those purchases and then slowly scaling their efforts. Whereas bigger brands are absolutely comfortable with investing into brand awareness because they are aware of the long-term benefits investing in brand awareness brings back. Whereas small businesses, I absolutely understand. They want to see return for each dollar they invest into Facebook ads, which is good, but they have to be ready to invest in brand awareness as well if they want to scale things on their end as they move forward.
So let's pause there and actually unpack, because that's one of the spaces I was going to talk about here. The brand support, the brand awareness. It's a common misunderstanding from SMBs that Facebook ads are actually simply for brand awareness. And that's a lot of what we've seen from small business. They'll steer away from Facebook ads because they just think it's for big brands. So obviously, well, let's talk about brand awareness as it affects a small and medium-sized brand, if you would. Can you kind of give us a little bit of guidance for those companies that are listening?
How to do brand awareness ads?
The value of brand awareness.
Oh, absolutely. So practical example, if you go on your Facebook newsfeed right now, and if you see an ad from a company that you're seeing for the first time, and it's an ad for something like sunglasses to purchase, or I don't know, let's say a service or something like that, a service that costs $200. You will not purchase because you don't know the company. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know, how their reviews are, for example. You don't know anything about them. If you invest in brand awareness, as soon as someone sees your ad for the second time, because you're going to be retargeting them naturally. So as soon as you invest in brand awareness, and then along the way, you retarget those people who saw your ad for the first time, and you show them an ad for a product that you sell or something else, or a service that you sell, or a lead magnet, they will be more inclined towards towards making that purchase, because they already know who you are, because you invested in brand awareness. And the good thing about brand awareness is it doesn't cost a lot to run these ads. So just a minor investment for small businesses, let's say $10 a day, goes a very, very long way.
Oh, well said. Well said. It's consider from an analogy, you're setting the stage to deliver these additional true transactional goals, right? But it's almost like having a conversation inside of Facebook. You got to open. You just can't open the conversation with "Hey, you want to buy from me? Check these over here." Right? I mean, you've got to. I mean, this is the kind of a very sacrosanct space that people enjoy Facebook. This is not a Twitter environment. They are not wanting to be sold so much. They want to. They're in lifestyle mode. They're in understanding causes and news, and they're championing their friends. Right? You got to have a friendly approach, and you have to not be so aggressive in the ad space. Because
on Facebook, people have to realize that people on Facebook surround themselves with friends that are on Facebook. So you don't go and friend a lot of people that you don't know. And when someone appears in your newsfeed, a brand or a company that you don't know, it's a stranger. So you need to kind of develop a similar relationship with your target audience, a similar relationship they have with their friends. So you have to appear in their newsfeed once in a while and build that relationship from the ground up if you want something from them, like a purchase or a sign up or anything like that.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard it on the show kind of spoken that particular way. You gotta bring your ads to them as if you were a friend wanting to connect, as opposed to a company wanting to connect. That's really interesting, actually. That also dictates how the creatives are done with ad space.
Oh yeah.
And how you don't push product, you push engagement, and you're building that audience and that tribe.
Right.
That's fantastic. So brand awareness for small businesses is probably even more critical than a large company throwing a lot of money at different Facebook drill down goals, landing pages, and segmentation, right?
Yeah. And what I think is funny is that a lot of small businesses spend a lot of money on, let's say, software for webinars or design or something like that, and they don't even use that software. So they're essentially throwing money away, but they're not ready to invest in themselves and to spend money on Facebook ads for brand awareness, which they will not see an immediate return from. But like I said, it's an investment. So I think they should definitely be ready to do that because it will take them a very, very long way if they use it correctly.
Oh, that's great. So we certainly implore small businesses to appreciate the Facebook side of things. You mentioned before we jumped on the show here that small medium-sized companies, even large companies, are waiting for that perfect time to start developing their Facebook ad campaign. When is that perfect time, Moyca?
Immediately. Right now.
That was a softball. You realize that?
Yeah. So even as I mentioned previously, even if you are ready to invest only $5 a day in Facebook ads, you should do it right away. The first thing you should actually do is implement a Facebook pixel to your webpage. Even if you don't plan on launching a Facebook ad campaign today or tomorrow or in 3 months. But again, implementing a Facebook pixel on your webpage is an investment, because when you do decide to start advertising on Facebook, you will already be able to retarget your website visitors. You'll already collect a lot of data from that Facebook pixel and use it to your own advantage. So even like I would encourage everyone to start today, but even if you don't plan on starting today, at least make that first step of implementing a Facebook pixel to your page. So when you are ready to invest $50 in Facebook ads, you already have somewhere to begin with.
There you go. There you go. So everybody who's listening, if you don't have a Facebook pixel on your website, do it now. Does it cost anything?
Absolutely
No,
not.
it doesn't.
And it's a 2-minute task.
Yep, it really is. And that Facebook pixel gets not only on the conversion page, but it actually gets on the you just put it inside a tag manager and you apply it to every page of the site.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask her. What's the best way? We put we use Tag Manager for Edge of the Web, and you create the Facebook pixel within the individual page, correct?
No, you get one Facebook pixel per Facebook ad account.
Okay.
So you just get the one Facebook pixel and you implement it before the end head tag on your website. And by doing that, it'll appear throughout your whole page.
Right.
So you'll have that one Facebook pixel on your blog posts, on your contact pages, on your homepage, everywhere.
Yeah, it needs to be everywhere, because then you can actually segment your audience based on your channels of information on your site, right?
Yeah.
And if you have product categories, then you're going to know that they've been tagged with certain product categories, and you can start rolling out an ad campaign directed to that group of users that checked it out. So, I mean, you're doing recon, and you're tagging that fish, letting them go back, and then when you're ready to actually move, you've got that data.
Yeah. Again, this is something that you cannot do with traditional advertising. So there's no tagging and then following up with those customers. So again, a benefit of Facebook ads that everyone should take advantage of.
Yeah. Does that pixel data, very similar to like a Google AdWords cookie, right? Which is a 30 and 60 and 90-day window of data. Does that Facebook pixel drop off of collecting data over that period of time?
Yeah, after 180 days. So that's when everything refreshes. That's why I said you should implement it today, because then you have 180 days worth of data when you do start to advertise and move forward with your Facebook ad campaign.
That's right. That's great. Going into some of the new features on Facebook, have you been able to get a chance to use a new feature from Facebook where you can see competitor ads?
Yes, I did. And I did that with my client, actually. But I found out that none of their competitors advertise. So that was kind of a sweet worry to have. But I love the new feature. I love the transparency of it. And what I wouldn't recommend doing at all is copy pasting your competitors, which I heard a lot of people started doing. And I heard that from my colleagues that are marketers. And they basically said that they saw people in the same space that they are just copy pasting their ad copy. So I would not recommend doing that. But what I use it for is simply for, number one, just seeing what our competitors are doing. Are we missing something? Are there any aspects that we're missing? And number two is just to brainstorm about the visuals a little bit. I launch Facebook ad campaigns on a daily basis, and I have to come up with new ideas on a daily basis. So having that some sort of library to go to and to see what other people are doing, and not just in my clients' industries or in my industry, but in other industries as well, and learning from other industries. That's, I think, a good thing to have.
Absolutely. And that's just the earmark of a lazy marketer, obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, as soon as these type of options come into play, you know you're going to get some of that garbage in there. But my gosh,
Yeah.
I mean, literally copying the ads verbatim and throw them. I guess we all kind of anticipated that, but come on, people.
We did.
So, do you see Facebook developing more around this feature? This is pretty darn unique, actually. You don't see that many ad platforms in the different digital marketing spaces revealing competitor ads like that, right?
Yeah, and I don't see how they could develop it further. The one thing that I saw them doing, though, when they first launched it, you weren't able to click on the ad and see the actual ad post and the comments below. Mm-hmm. But now you can do that. So now you can see the engagement, and you can get at least a better sense of how well one ad is performing to another, for example. But I don't see how they could develop that further. But maybe I'll be surprised in the next couple of weeks.
Are you aware of any API connection to that particular product that any SaaS company has been able to take advantage of and do some competitive analysis?
I haven't heard of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens to me.
Yep. All right. Well, that's certainly a great feature for understanding engagement factors for competitors' ads. Yeah. Quickly, can you unpack a perspective about Facebook ad strategy as it applies maybe to a singular tactic for success, as well as how it can be used in the overarching strategy of a company's digital marketing firm? So one lane is, if they're going to do anything, going at Facebook ad strategy with some deep focus, as well as how does Facebook ad strategy reinforce or help an overarching digital strategy? I just repeated my question, didn't I?
You did.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, the first thing I want to mention is a lot of people think, and a lot of big companies too, so this is not just a mistake small companies do, but a mistake a lot of big companies do as well, is they think that they should have one strategy for Twitter. They should have one strategy for their email marketing. They should have another strategy on Instagram, and then another strategy on Facebook. So, like, the digital strategy that you have, they should work together on different platforms. So even if you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Facebook ads, everything should work hand in hand. So don't have one strategy for each channel, but have one digital strategy and kind of connect the channels together. Not literally connect them, but have them work hand in hand. And a very good strategy to go with that is, so I follow a typical 3-step funnel usually, and this is very simplified, especially for small businesses. So you start with brand awareness or traffic ads, so where you try to bring a lot of value to your customers through ads, through advertising blog posts. So you don't want to see an immediate return in terms of purchases and I don't know, signups to your lead magnet or something like that, but you just want to get traffic to your webpage. And then the second step is retargeting all of that traffic with lead ads and trying to get as many leads as possible. So try to collect emails from people that are interested in the end product that you're going to sell. And then the last final piece of the puzzle are purchase ads, where you try to retarget those people who gave you their email address and show them ads for your product. Let's say that you sell an ebook or you sell a service. And what you want to do at the end is only advertise that offering to people that are highly qualified. So to people who have first visited your landing page, visited your homepage, visited your blog. So they got acquainted with your brand and with your company. And that they gave you their email address because they were willing to invest that much to move forward. So to give you their email address, to make that first non-monetary transaction. And then, like I said, the final piece, you have like a very, very highly qualified audience that you advertise your product to.
Yeah, and that is archetypal of the engagement that you're wanting to have with a customer. You don't want to hit them over the head, and you also don't want to give away an offer too early in the relationship. This is really relationship building, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's called social media for a reason. So it is engagement based. You cannot appear in someone's newsfeed and say, hey, I've got this great service, buy it. That's like someone knocking on your door and immediately trying to sell you a $200 service or a book or a course. You probably won't buy it. You don't know the person. You don't know who they're working for. So it is engagement based. Absolutely.
It's, I mean, that kind of stuff is the equivalent of, I don't know if you have it in Slovenia, but the equivalent of value pack advertising that gets mailed to everybody's mailbox in a big stack of coupons in an envelope, rolling the dice from companies hoping that you're going to bite, right? I mean, that's the exact same type of thing that we're seeing here. You've got to be engaging. You've got to have a relationship, and you have to build trust, right?
Yeah. And if you build that relationship, it's going to go a long way. So whenever you launch a new product, whenever you launch a new business, you'll have people there who are interested because you've grown that relationship. You've invested in that, and it's going to get easier along the way.
Very good. Very good. Well, along the same approach of the previous question, what can Facebook ad testing results provide to the other digital marketing tactics? What kind of data is specifically unique to Facebook that can help improve ad delivery in other spaces?
So I would say that everything, first of all, you can track a lot of metrics with Facebook ads.
Right.
So you can track positive, negative feedback to a specific ad. So how do people react to that ad? Do they react in a positive way or in a negative way? What's the relevance score? So how important is that ad in a greater aspect? And you can take all of that to improve your other digital strategies that you do on other channels. So for example, let's say you test a copy and you test different variations of a copy, and just finding out what resonates with that specific target audience, you can take that exact copy and implement it on your landing page. Because on your landing page, this is not something that you can experiment with so easily as you can on Facebook, because you need to have a lot of traffic on your landing page if you want to launch these, let's say, big A/B tests with different copy and different visuals. Whereas on Facebook is just a matter of investing a couple of dollars into A/B testing different copy, A/B testing different visuals, and seeing how people react to those visuals and to that copy, for example. And like positive and negative feedback is the one metric that I haven't seen in any of the other platforms. And it really talks a lot about how people react to the ad. Do they watch it? Do they read it? Do they click on it? Do they click on your page? How do they engage with that? And even that metric talks a lot about your marketing strategy, and you can take that information and implement it to your landing page. You can implement it to your Twitter ads or Instagram, whatever.
That's what I was going for. Thank you for that, because that's the sounding board, almost the focus group concept.
Yes.
That Facebook can actually roll and provide to a lot of these different advertising platforms. You had a great post on when companies shouldn't use Facebook ads. Now, I know we just talked to our audience about do it now, but why shouldn't you use a Facebook ad after maybe a sudden decrease in traffic?
I got a lot of prospect back. I mean, I still get them from time to time. Prospects that think Facebook ads will solve all their problems. So they see a sudden decrease in traffic on their landing page, and they think, wow, I'll just invest $100 in Facebook ads and it'll all go back to normal. It doesn't work that way. So if you see a sudden drop in traffic on your landing page, for example, there's something wrong. Maybe your message is not getting through. Maybe you're experiencing technical issues. Maybe you're not relevant to your target audience, but something needs to change. So Facebook isn't a Band-Aid that you can put on your business. It doesn't work that way. So first you need to have a healthy foundation. So a healthy traffic on your landing page. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to have a lot of traffic. It just means that you shouldn't start advertising when you see that sudden drop in performance, sudden drop in traffic, or something going wrong. It's not a good place to start.
Certainly not a Band-Aid. And we would never want anybody listen to the show jump in and think that Facebook ads is going to be the silver bullet for recovery of some advertising. But you also said that the Facebook ads are all that Facebook ads on the launch of a new product really is not a good idea as well, right?
Yeah. So again, this is coming from my experience because I got a lot of prospects that have contacted me a day before a big launch. And that's never a good way to start advertising because as we talked a lot about in this interview, you are investing in relationships, in engagement. You're trying to build a relationship. And when you launch a new product, your goal is to start selling that product right away. And what a lot of people and businesses do is they immediately invest into promotional ads and it all goes downwards from there. So they invest a lot of their budget into promoting the product that they just launched, and nothing happens because they haven't invested in those relationships, in building those relationships first. So if you are planning on a big launch, you are launching a new product, whether that's a course or an ebook or a new product line, lifestyle brand, whatever. You want to invest in building a relationship with your target audience first. And when you launch that product, you'll already have those relationships built, and selling that product will be that much easier. So you should start thinking about a good advertising strategy before you launch a new product, when you start planning a new launch, basically.
Any guidance on a window of time to set that groundwork? I mean, it's all contingent on the audience of that brand, but if it's a new product launch, any basic time windows of building that new visibility?
Yeah, so I have a practical example. So at this moment, I am developing a Facebook ads video course. And immediately after I got the idea, and after I sat down to create my launch plan. So when do I plan to launch the course? How's my email marketing going to look like? Immediately after I'd done that, I started to invest in Facebook ads. And I don't necessarily directly promote what I'm doing, but I am investing in building that relationships with sharing a lot of value. I share a lot of blog posts. I share a lot of videos on the custom audiences update that happened recently, for example. So I'm trying to build that relationships, and I'm already doing that, even though my launch is more than a month away. Immediately after I got the idea, immediately after I started investing time into building that course, I started building those relationships with Facebook ads as well. So immediately after you get the idea, start doing it, because it doesn't take a lot of, you don't need to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into that. But $5 a day goes a very, very long way, for example.
There you have it, everybody. And she beat me to the punch. Moyca has a new Facebook ads course coming up. So tell us about that.
Yeah, this is, again, I'm full of interesting stories. So I've been doing client work for a very, very long time now, and it's been going great. My business has been growing organically, and I know a lot of people and a lot of business owners don't have that privilege. So I never went out to look for leads because they came to me. But after a while, I felt like I'm not growing in a way And I have a large audience of people that I regularly help with sending newsletters. And they were all asking, like, Moyca, you have a book. We want a video course. We want an exhaustive video course on Facebook ads, and we want it now. And basically what I did more than a month ago, I think, is I fired all of my clients but one.
Whoa.
I kept one, yes. And I'm dedicating all of my time into building that course. And the course is called The Science of Facebook Ads. And it's going to be exhaustive. And I'm pretty much going to teach everything I know, like all the technical aspects of Facebook advertising. So yeah, building that now and very, very excited.
Oh my gosh. Literally, I'll circle back around to that. You just fired every one of your clients but one.
Yes.
To be able to open time up for yourself to be able to create this.
Oh yeah, because that was the number one thing that was holding me back. So I had the course in the back of my mind for more than a year. I was always, whenever someone met me, I was like, yeah, I'm building a course. I'm building a course. It never happened. So I basically said, well, I need to make it happen. It won't happen by itself. So it took me quite a while to make that decision. So I was frustrated, like for 14 days, I didn't sleep because I was just thinking, like, how can I get more time? How could I do this? And I decided, like, if I ever want to do this, if I want to launch a video course, I need to have time. And I just took the plunge.
Oh, that's awesome, boy! What but a risk and a reward at the same time, because you're dedicating that time to be able to create an excellent course, and we're certainly looking forward to it. So we want to promote that course. When is it going to be available?
So I'm going to, it's a great coincidence because I'm launching the waiting list today, immediately after we finish this interview. So it's going to be available at the science of Facebook ads.com. And the course is going to be available. It's planned for 20th of August.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So it's very apropos to be talking about this today.
Yes.
Moyca, it's incredible information that you provide, and certainly you're demonstrating a superior knowledge of Facebook ads, and that's what you see whenever you see really qualified people passionate about what they're doing. You have that level of knowledge as opposed to some tepid thoughts and execution inside of advertising. You got to go deep to be able to get the results, right?
Yes, absolutely. And if anyone wants any help, like, I'm always available here for any kind of advice.
Oh, that's very, very generous of you. To wrap up, Moyca, we always ask this question of our guests. What bugs you about your industry right now?
I think we talked about this before we went live.
Yeah.
But the one thing that kind of bugs me is that nowadays a lot of people, like, you see marketers all around, and not a lot of them are honest. You know the saying, like, marketers ruin everything. I think marketers even ruin themselves. Anytime I mention that I'm in marketing, I do Facebook ads, they think of these sleazy people that are just in it for the money, right? And you really want to help other people. You just want to get some sort of, a monetary benefit from them. It's not like this. So I hope that marketing will turn in a more honest direction moving forward, and that people will recognize that there are marketers that truly and honestly want to help them out and want to help to grow their business. So that's the number one thing that really, really bugs me.
The ethics of marketing. And I think that's a long tradition out there that we certainly want to repair. I mean, even back into the Mad Men advertising days. Conversely, what excites you about your industry? Pardon me, industry.
The potential of Facebook ads. I mean, we've talked about the AR ads that are coming. So I think just all the potential, all the updates that I see. It's a negative and positive side to the updates that we see on a regular basis in Facebook ads. A funny thing, immediately after I launched my book, and I did that, I think, more than 2 years ago. So I launched my book, and when I woke up the next day and went to Facebook Ads Manager, it was completely revamped. So it was new, and I was like, oh my God, Facebook did it again. So that's the negative side of all the updates that are coming on a regular basis.
That would really suck.
Yeah, and I'm ready to do, like, I'm trying trying to get myself prepared for the course as well. So if Facebook does something funny, not going to be fun.
Yeah.
But it is exciting at the same time because of all of the updates and everything.
Yeah, there's innovation happening all the time, and the AdWords platform, Facebook platform, you certainly see a lot of retooling. You can't pin it down. They're constantly changing, but I mean, any advertiser has to be agile and nimble. All right, well, Moyca, it's been fantastic. I got to ask you, what's the deal with dinosaurs and cranes?
Oh my God! Yes. So I have a thing. You can see the dinosaur in the background.
No.
And I have a construction crane here.
Okay.
So for some reason, I am obsessed. I don't know the reason, but I am just obsessed with dinosaurs and construction cranes. I have a dinosaur onesie that I wear regularly. I wore it on stage even when I gave a talk, and it was the best thing ever. I don't have it on currently because it's very hot, and that dinosaur onesie is just incredibly fluffy. And for the construction cranes, I cry when I see them. I don't know why. It just makes me emotional. So I have them around my house as well.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I'm going to help you with this. In our city, there's a kind of a fall festival, a pumpkin patch down on the south side of Indianapolis, and they actually put a Tyrannosaurus head on a construction. Oh, it's not construction. It's it's not bulldozer. It's one of the what?
A backhoe?
Yeah, it's like a backhoe. Okay, so it's a piece of construction equipment. It's got the big crunching, the crunching mouth.
You are kidding.
No, and they put a T-Rex head, and the kids feed pumpkins to the crane, and the dinosaur mashes it all together. So,
yep, you're lying.
I'm not. I will send you a photo of that. So there's your convergence right there in Indianapolis, Indiana. From Slovenia, we knew that this was happening, and hey, you're right. I mean, you've been right all along.
I am so coming there this year. Absolutely, yes.
We'll send you some photos about it. That's awesome. So I certainly want to promote the ad course, thescienceoffacebookads.com. And you get on the waiting list, and certainly show Moyca her support, because that's pretty risky whenever you fire all your clients except one to dive in and provide information to the rest of the marketers in the digital marketing space. Thank you so much for doing that. We certainly want to recommend our audience follow you on Moyca. It's Mojca Mars, the Twitter handle, as well as Moyca Mars at Facebook. Did you just get married?
I did last year, actually.
Cool. So Instagram, Moyca Mars. So you're going to be changing all that or keeping the old brand?
As you can see, I haven't decided yet. So I don't know.
Oh, don't tell him. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate all your insight today. Any final words to our audience about Facebook ads?
Implement that Facebook pixel on your webpage right now. Just do it. Don't think about it. Do it. 2-minute task. Doesn't cost anything. Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thanks to everybody listening and watching Edge of the Web. We certainly appreciate all of the support, as well as please rate and review us over here. We thanks to all our colleagues at Site Strategics, especially our guest Mojca Zove. Be sure to check out all the must-see videos and more insider information at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. Thanks to everybody. And Tom, who are we going to be talking to tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got Duncan Olney in studio.
That's right. We got Duncan Olney in studio from Firebelly, right?
Yep, from Firebelly. Sorry, I thought you. Yeah, from Firebelly, and we're going to be talking more social media.
Very cool. All right.
And influencer marketing.
Influencer marketing. All right. So stay tuned for tomorrow's broadcast. And again, we couldn't do it without you guys, and we certainly want to have feedback and let us know how we're doing. So rate and review, and give us some comments. You can always ask a question at edgeofthewebradio.com. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. Bye-bye.